Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you how to crochet a sweater vest. This vest is very easy to make and is perfect for spring and fall season. It's very comfortable. I have free written pattern. It's available on our blog at knitcrowaddict.com, and if you prefer the PDF printable version, it's available for purchase on our Etsy, Ravelry and Lovecraft. I'm gonna put all the links in the description below. And the pattern includes women sizes, extra small go up to double XL. And for today's tutorial, I'm gonna show you in size small, which is the one that I'm wearing right now. I hope you enjoy and let's get started. For this project, I used number 6 super bulky yarn. This is Buttercream Luxe Alpaca Solid from Joanne. In each ball is have 130 yards or 119 meter. I use 2 balls, okay? This is 80% acrylic, 20% alpaca. This is in color taupe. If you want to substitute yarn, just look for number 6 super bulky yarn and check the gauge before you start. And I use 8mm crochet hook, scissors, 2 stitch markers, and yarn needle. Before we start, I want to explain a little bit about this crochet sweater vest pattern. We're gonna make in 2 separate pieces, and I'm gonna talk about this back panel first. For the back panel, we're gonna start with the ribbing part. We're gonna make the chain this way. The chain when we make gonna be the length of the ribbing, and then we're gonna crochet this way, and the row that we make gonna be the width across. And then after we're done with the ribbing part, we're gonna turn the ribbing sideways like this, and then we're gonna continue crochet the body part this way. And for the front panel, basically we make the same except the last 5 rows, because we're gonna make the shoulder shape, okay? And then after that, we're gonna sew the back and the front panel together at the shoulder seam and then at the side seam. And after that, I'm gonna crochet a couple rounds around the neck hole. And we are done. And the measurement for size small, which is the one that I'm gonna show you in this tutorial, it is 17 inches width across and then 16.53 inches long. Alright, let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start the back panel first, and then we're gonna start with the ribbing part. Make slip knot. Use any method you prefer to make slip knot, and then make 7 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then row 1, we're gonna make 1 single crochet into the second chain from the hook, but I like to insert my hook into the little bump on the back of the chain here. And then yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. That is my first single crochet on row 1. And then make 1 single crochet into each chain across. Again, I insert into the little bump on the back of the chain. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. And repeat that across. Single crochet into the next chain, single crochet into the next chain, single crochet into the next, single crochet into the next, which is the last chain. At the end of row 1, I have 6 single crochet stitches across. Row 2, chain 1 and turn, or you can turn first and chain, doesn't matter. And the chain 1 never count as a stitch. And then we're gonna make 1 single crochet into each stitch across. So I insert the hook into the first stitch, make a single crochet, and then single crochet into the next stitch. Keep doing that across. I'm at the end of row 2 and I have the same 6 single crochet stitches across. And for row 3 to row 34, I'm gonna repeat row 2. And I'm gonna show you one more row, which is row 3. So we chain 1 and turn. Just repeat row 2. We make 1 single crochet into each stitch across. I'm at the end of row 3. I have the same 6 single crochet stitches across. I'm gonna keep repeating row 2 until I reach the end of row 34 and I will be back. I'm at the end of row 34 and here's what it looks like. Next, we're gonna crochet the body part, and to do that, I want you to turn your work sideways like this. And then we're gonna crochet row 1 of the body part into the end of each row of the ribbing part this way. And I call that space instead, so easier to understand. We're gonna use the same yarn to crochet the body part. So, start row 1 with chain 1. Again, the chain 1 never count as a stitch. And then we're gonna make 1/2 double crochet into each space across, and row 1 is the wrong side, for an odd number row is the wrong side. So after I chain 1, I yarn over hook, insert the hook into the first space right here. Yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. That is my first half double crochet on row 1. And then make half double crochet into the next space. So I yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next space, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. And then we're gonna do this across. So half double crochet into the next space, half double crochet into next space, half double crochet into the next space, half double crochet into next space, half double crochet into the next space. Okay, here's what it looks like so far. So you see this line is have 2 rows in there. So next space is gonna be this one that you're gonna make half double crochet into, and the next space will be this one, and the next space will be this one, and the next space will be this one. Alright, keep repeating this across, and at the end of row 1, I should have 34 stitches across because the ribbing part I make 34 rows. Hope that makes sense. Alright, I will be back. I'm at the end of row 1 and I have a total of 34 half double crochet stitches across. And for row 2, chain 1 and turn. And the chain 1 again never count as a stitch, and then we're gonna make half double crochet into each stitch across. So I make half double crochet into the first stitch here, half double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, and keep repeating this across. I'm at the end of row 2 and I have the same 34 stitches across because I'm not increase or decrease. Row 3 to row 8, I'm gonna repeat row 2. I'm gonna show you a little bit on row 3. We chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across. And make half double crochet into the first stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, and half double crochet into the next stitch. Alright, I'm gonna keep repeating row 2 until I reach the end of row 8, and I will be back. I'm at the end of row 8 here, and here's what it looks like. And for row 9, we're gonna start decrease. So we chain 1 and turn, and then we're gonna make half double crochet the first stitch and then the next stitch together. So we yarn over hook, insert the hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 5 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. That is how we make half double crochet 2 stitches together. So those 2 stitches become 1 stitch. I just decrease 1 stitch right there. And then we're gonna make half double crochet into the next stitch and into each stitch until we have 2 stitches left. Now I have 2 stitches left and I gonna decrease. I gonna make half double crochet the last 2 stitches together. So yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next stitch, which is the last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. I have 5 loops on my hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. Okay, so those 2 stitches become 1 stitch. At the end of row 9, I have a total of 32 stitches across. I just decreased 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. And for row 10 to row 14, I'm gonna repeat row 9, and every row I'm gonna decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. Alright, I'm gonna show you row 10. So I chain 1 and turn. I'm gonna decrease by making half double crochet the first stitch and in the next stitch together. So yarn over hook, insert the hook into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. And then make half double crochet into each stitch until you have 2 stitches left. See, we just repeat row 9. I have 2 stitches left here, and then I'm gonna decrease. I'm gonna half double crochet the last 2 stitches together. Yarn over hook, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, insert the hook into the last stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. The end of row 10, I have a total of 30 stitches across. I just decreased 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. Alright, so row 11, 12, 13, and 14. I'm gonna repeat row 9, and every row I'm gonna decrease 2 stitches, 1 stitch on each side. And at the end of row 14, I should have a total of 22 stitches across. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing that and I will be back when I'm at the end of row 14. I'm at the end of row 14 and here's what it looks like, and I have a total of 22 stitches left. And now we're gonna stop decrease. Row 15, we chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across, no more decrease. So make half double crochet into the first stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the next, half double crochet into the next. Repeating this across. I'm at the end of row 15 and I have the same 22 stitches across. And for row 16 to row 22, I'm gonna repeat row 15, which is half double crochet into each stitch across over and over, no more decrease. Alright, I'm gonna show you a little bit on row 16. We chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're gonna make half double crochet into each stitch across. Alright, I'm gonna keep repeating row 15 until I reach the end of row 22 and I will be back. I'm at the end of row 22 here. Here's what it looks like. And then next, I'm gonna cut the yarn, leave a little bit of tail, just enough to weaving the end later. And then pull the yarn out. And I'm done with the back panel. And for the front panel, you're gonna make the same. until you reach the end of row 17. Okay, and then for the last 5 rows we're gonna make the shoulder shape. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make the front panel exactly the same until I reach the end of row 17, and I will be back. Okay, now I'm at the end of row 17 on my front panel, and next we're gonna make the upper left or the left shoulder, and it's gonna be row 18. Okay, so we chain 1 and turn, and then I'm gonna make 1/2 double crochet into each of next 4 stitches. So I make the first half double crochet into the first stitch. Now I have 1/2 double crochet, and then half double crochet into next stitch. Now I have 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. I have 3 half double crochet into the next stitch. Now I have 4, and then we're just gonna focus one side at a time. This is the end of row 18. On my left shoulder I have 4 stitches, and then for row 19 we chain 1 and turn, and then we're gonna make half double crochet into each stitch across. At the end of row 19 I have the same 4 stitches across, and for row 20 to row 22 I'm gonna repeat row 19. So row 20 we chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across. At the end of row 20 I have the same 4 stitches across. Row 21, chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across. At the end of row 21 I have the same 4 stitches across, and then row 22, the final row, we chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across. Okay, and here's what it looks like. And now we're done with the left shoulder. I'm gonna cut the yarn and leave about 6 inches long tail, enough to sew the shoulder seam into the back panel, and then pull the yarn out. And now we're gonna make the right shoulder or upper right. I'm gonna skip 14 stitches for the neckline. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then into the next stitch I insert my hook there and bring the new yarn, hold it on the back and yarn over, pull up a loop and chain 1. The chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, and then I'm gonna make the first half double crochet into the same stitch that I just added new yarn. So yarn over hook, insert the hook there, yarn over, pull up a loop and make half double crochet. And then I'm gonna make half double crochet into each stitch across. And this is row 18 on the right shoulder. Okay. At the end of row 18 I have 4 stitches. And basically we're gonna make the same that we make the left shoulder. I'm gonna show you a little bit. Row 19 we chain 1 and turn, and then make half double crochet into each stitch across. Okay, here's what it looks like. And for row 20, 21, 22, you're gonna repeat row 19. Like I said, make exactly the same that we make the left shoulder. Alright, no increase, no decrease. And I will be back. I'm at the end of row 22 here. And I cut the yarn and leave about 6 inches long tail, and then pull the yarn out. And I'm done with the front panel. And next, I'm gonna show you how to sew the front and the back panel together. Okay, to sew the shoulder seam, I want you to place the back and the front panel, wrong side facing up, right side facing down. We're gonna sew on the wrong side. I already went ahead and sew one side here. And I'm gonna show you how to sew on this side. And I'm gonna use the tail that I left earlier to sew. And I'm gonna sew 4 stitches on the front and then 4 stitches on the back together at the shoulder seam here. And I have my tail come from the front panel. I'm gonna insert my needle into the first stitch on the back panel there, both loops, and bring it up. And then I'm gonna insert into the first stitch on the front and then first stitch on the back one more time, just to lock the yarn. And then I insert into the next stitch here, both loops, and next stitch there, both loops. Bring it up. And you can use any method you prefer. Make sure not so too tight or too loose. So insert into the next stitch here and next stitch there. Bring it up. And this is the last stitch here and the next stitch there. Bring it up. And now I'm done with the shoulder seam. And then I just gonna weave the end. Alright, make sure it's secure and then you trim the tail and you're done. And both sides sew the same. Alright, and next I'm gonna show you how to sew the side seam. To sew the side seam, fold your vest in half, right side facing each other. We're gonna sew on the wrong side. I already went ahead and sew one side here. This is the wrong side. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how to sew on this side. I cut a new strand of yarn about 18 to 20 inches long, and then I'm gonna use the yarn needle to sew, and you can use any method you prefer. And then I'm gonna sew up until I reach the end of row 8, which is right before the row that I decreased. Alright, so I have my yarn needle and my tail ready to go here. I insert my needle into the first stitch on the front panel and then first stitch on the back panel there. Bring it up. I just gonna sew back and forth. And then next stitch here and next stitch there. Bring it up. Make sure don't sew too tight or too loose. Next stitch here, next stitch there, and bring it up. Next stitch here and next stitch there. Bring it up. Next stitch here and next stitch there. Bring it up. And next stitch here and next stitch there. And for this part, it's a little difficult to see the stitches because we sew into the end of each row. But whatever you do, just make sure both sides is lining up nice and even. That's all important. So I'm gonna insert my hook right here. Sorry, my needle. And then insert it right there. And bring it up like that. And then right here and right there. Bring it up. And right here and right there. Bring it up. Alright, I'm just gonna keep sewing all the way up until I reach the stitch marker, which is the end of row 8. Okay, now I reach row 8 and I already removed the stitch marker, and then I'm gonna hiding the tail. And I'm gonna trim the tail, and then you're gonna hiding all the ends, okay? And both sides sew the same. Okay, next I'm gonna crochet around the neck hole, and to do that I want you to turn the right side out. So right now I already turned my right side out. This is the right side facing out. Okay, I'm gonna insert my hook right at the shoulder seam here. and then bring the new yarn, hold it on the back and yarn overhook, pull up a loop and chain 1, and then I'm gonna make 1 single crochet into the same stitch that I just added new yarn. So insert the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop and make a single crochet, and I'm just gonna place the stitch marker into the first stitch, and then I'm gonna make 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So this is the end of each row that we make. I also gonna make 1 single crochet into the end of each row, and I call that space. So anyways, so next space here, make a single crochet into the next space, 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 and then single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and single crochet into the next stitch. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing that around, and when I reach the shoulder seam, I also gonna make 1 single crochet into that shoulder seam because I don't want it to have like a big gap. Okay, so yeah, I'm doing that around. I'm at the end of the round here, and I have a total of 40 stitches around. If you have a couple more or less, it's totally fine, and I think I'm gonna make 1 more round. If you like just 1 round, totally okay. Okay. So first I'm gonna remove the stitch marker, and then make the first single crochet into the first stitch there, and then I'm gonna place the stitch marker into the first stitch, and then make 1 single crochet into each stitch around. I'm at the end of round 2 here, and I'm just gonna cut the yarn and weave the end. So I cut my yarn, pull the yarn out, and then bring my yarn needle, insert the tail into my yarn needle, and then I'm gonna skip the next stitch, which is the marker stitch, and then insert my yarn needle into the next stitch, and then I'm just gonna remove the stitch marker. And then I'm gonna bring my yarn needle, insert into the last single crochet that I made right here, right at the middle, and then bring the end inside the vest like that. See, I just create a new stitch here. I really like how it looks really nice and clean. And then I'm gonna weave the end inside the vest, and I'm done. Here's what it looks like. Very cute. I love it. And if you like, you can crochet around the arm edge if you like. But for me, I think it's cute like this. Congratulations! I hope you enjoy making this cute sweater vest. If you did, please give this video a big thumb up and share this video with your friends. And I would love to see everyone's work. If you want to share with me, just text me on Facebook or Instagram at KnitCrawAddict. I'm gonna put all the links in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next video. Bye bye!